Okay, so this woman that I got this ring for, uh, which basically turned into a long distance relationship. So she never got the ring. So the year was 2020, about a year ago. Yeah, a year ago. Uh, so 2020, the year of the damn virus, which definitely made it worse. It made the situation worse. Trying to develop a relationship with someone while there's a virus going on, a pandemic. Kind of difficult. It was kind of doomed. So it turned into, so we only met once, and it turned into a texting relationship. So basically a long distance relationship because she didn't live in my town. She lived like the a neighboring town. I guess like a half an hour away if you're driving, but I don't have a car, so I bike. So with her, one thing that I definitely noticed with her was like I would try to make plans with her, and she was always busy, pretty much, which I assume she's not lying about. I have to take her word for it. She has this flower shop, and she works a lot. This is her business, and she told me she works like 6 days a week, I think. And she works some holidays, and sometimes she was working like really long, like 10 to 12-hour days, which I guess would be stressful and like a really depressing way to have a life, especially if you want to try to date someone. So yeah, that sounds pretty crappy. But on my end of it, it's really frustrating when you are trying to start a relationship with someone, but they keep telling you that they're busy. So this was a couple months of this, just this frustration. Like, well, I want to be involved with this person, but they're never available. So, like with this virus, like there are these certain things where like these businesses are closed down, and this whole thing about having to wear a mask and like you got to be 6 feet apart. And this was before there was even any consideration about a vaccine, so it was not a great situation for starting a relationship. So I don't know how people made it work. How did anyone make it work? There must have been people that I guess they were just like not, they were just taking the risk. Possibly some relationships ended during this virus situation. Definitely difficult. There was this one moment where I was expressing to her how I wanted to see her, and I was feeling sad and lonely, and she kind of flipped out on me. Uh, she said how did she put it? Hmm. She got defensive and she said something like, uh, I shouldn't, something about she shouldn't have control over how I feel or something like that. Like, I should, like, and she was telling me how I should go out because there was a layoff at my job because of the virus. So I was just sitting at home, not doing anything. So I was mentioning how I was lonely and wanted to see her, and she got all defensive. Like, she was telling me to go out and get a part-time job or go do something. So I thought that was kind of crazy that she reacted that way because I'm trying to express my feelings for her and she's getting angry with me. She didn't want me to be lonely. She didn't want me to tell her that I was lonely. And it's like she saw it as me like blaming her, I think. She's kind of going crazy. I guess she said because she reacted that way because she was busy. She was really busy at work. I was like, okay, fine. I didn't really want to talk to her after that, but then afterwards we just kind of we we started texting again. But then the problem happened when we were texting, and I had gotten a rowing machine because I noticed I was putting on some weight that I didn't like. So I thought, well, if I get a rowing machine, maybe I'll exercise and get some of that weight off. So I had mentioned to her in texting a few times that I was saying how I because you can turn the dial on the rowing machine to different levels of resistance level. So I was saying I'm on this level and I did this many reps. So I was like, that was just me conversating with her about that. I don't know, maybe she got annoyed with it, but uh, I think maybe I mentioned how I was got a little bit of sweat, and she said something which I don't remember exactly. There was some kind of joke she made, and I was like, I didn't really, I wasn't really getting the joke. I didn't know she was making a joke, and it had something to do with me sweating. And wow, I wish I could remember. I don't have the text anymore because I deleted all of it. So she made a joke that I didn't really get, or even find like maybe I thought it was a joke, and maybe I just didn't think it was funny, so I didn't react as if it were a joke, so I didn't respond right away to it as if it were a joke. Something to do with me sweating and being hot. And then it was like she was like explaining the joke. Like, this is the joke, this is what I was saying, this is why aren't you laughing kind of thing, like. And then I was like, okay, and I didn't really react to it. And then she sends me a text saying, lighten up. And I'm thinking, why is she telling me to lighten up? She sends me a text about a joke that either I don't get or I don't think is funny, and she tells me to lighten up. It doesn't make sense to me. And I'm just feeling kind of like she's picking on me. Like, what the hell? Why are you telling me to lighten up? Because I don't laugh at your joke, you're telling me to lighten up. So I was just like, um, so it's kind of like that other thing I mentioned about someone else calling me a dork, and I wanted them to know that I didn't want them to call me a dork, so I said, "Don't call me a dork." And now this one tells me to lighten up, and then I think I said, yeah, I must have said it. I said, uh, don't tell me to lighten up. And then I kind of like I felt like I let her know that I didn't want her to tell me to lighten up, so I wanted her to apologize for it. And so later I was like, why can't you just say you're sorry? Because I told her I didn't like being told to lighten up, and uh, she didn't think it was a big deal, and I just felt like what are you doing? Why are you telling me to lighten up? Like later I like when I mentioned it on Facebook to someone, they agreed with me. They said it was dismissive, like kind of a dismissive kind of thing to say. So I can see how, like, I guess that's why I didn't like it, because it was like a dismissive kind of thing, like dismissing my feelings kind of thing. Like, um, so and then like even like later, like I would like I was watching like an episode of the Wonder Years, and one of the characters told Kevin Arnold to lighten up, and I was noticing in the lyrics to songs like I think by it was either Sia or Adele or was it Megan Trainor, where in the lyrics it said that they need to lighten up. So I was seeing, like, after I heard someone tell me to lighten up and it bothered me, I'm seeing other people use the term, the expression lighten up, and so other people aren't bothered by it as much as I am. Uh, but at the time, it really bothered me because it was like a dismissive kind of comment that just like felt like it came out of nowhere. Like, what the hell? Why do I need to lighten up? But so that pretty much was the end of the relationship after that because I let her know I didn't want her to. I didn't like being told to lighten up, and she felt like there was no problem with telling me to lighten up and uh, like after it felt like the relationship ended. Like I tried to I tried to give her another chance. I tried to say uh, well let's try again here, and then it felt like okay we're gonna because I wanted to text like we used to, and because we hadn't talked like for a few weeks, so I tried to rekindle something with her. Uh, but then she said it again. She said, "But you really needed to lighten up." So she totally was like not caring where whether or not it bothered me.